Oh shit, here we go again.
August 4th, 1997, Operator Anton Sikorsky, United Nations Patrol Special Committee. Presently, there are about 12 of us, not including myself, remaining in the rail yards of Banno. Now, note for that the purposes of this experiment, we've started a new game plus, and in addition to Reapergirl's backpack, I am also running several other modifications. We're going to stockpile all these cigarettes, but I'll have a smoke while we're doing this. I suppose this will be as good a spot as anywhere else. Lighting seems to be pretty good, and there's a pretty nice backdrop. Alright, what we have here is a variation of the caribou bag from another popular title known as Escape from Tarkov. Now, those of you familiar with the original backpack will notice that the hitbox shape has been changed significantly. In addition to being made taller, the backpack has also had two sections added directly to the sides here. Now, the first thing that I noticed when I examined this backpack is that there is a skeletal mesh in the areas that have been removed. This is somewhat obtrusive. First point of contention that I have for the feedback that was requested of me is that this mesh should be made significantly less visible, as it interferes with my ability to see what is actually inside the backpack. The second such nitpicks that I have is that the backpack's inside textures appear to be very dark and non-reactive to flashlights. On to a good point, I noticed that the hitbox, as you will notice, still works the same way as the previous backpack did. What this means is that as long as the geometry of the object that I'm placing into the backpack lights up the texture, I can effectively hang external devices. This is very important to remember when you have bulky objects such as the Escape from Tarkov medical kit, which replaces the stim pack, or ammo cans that are available from the railroad car. These objects are extremely bulky and can take up a lot of space in the backpack. However, because the geometry intersection still works as it's supposed to, it is possible for me to hang an entire stack of first aid kits right here. Now notice that the hitbox of the medical first aid kits are different from the stim packs, which basically means these things actually have mass. I cannot stack them together. This is an important consideration for why a bigger backpack may necessarily be better for this game. I can allocate a very specific section for food, such as these cans here. Notice that also from Escape from Tarkov, the sweet chocolate bars, if you're absolutely sick of hazelnut, like I am, have been replaced with the recognizable brand Hershey's. Now, this is where the third point of contention comes into play here. One of the biggest pet peeves that I have with this backpack design is that it is not inherently obvious as to where you're supposed to grab it. I'll show you what I mean once I have moved a few more of these devices out of the way here. Notice that I'm pretty much carrying an entire cafeteria's worth of chocolate bars here, and I still haven't managed to use up any of the primary space on the inside of this backpack. This is a huge quality of life improvement right here. I hope the developers are paying attention to this, because this could probably be a game changer for a lot of people. So as you can see, I'm already using my compartmentalization abilities here to sort my equipment via... Now, you can see where the dark textures are really bumming me out here, because I need a moment or two to quickly figure out where I place my lighter. Now we're going to take a quick smoke break right here. I'm going to leave this awful carrot cake on the side of the road. So as you can see, organization is vastly and significantly improved. Now this is where the sticky part comes into play. The normal backpack is usually grabbed at the top of the geometry, but because this one has been made much taller, it's not readily apparent where I have to touch it. What you need to remember is that the handle is visible from the inside. This is the part that you grab. Unfortunately, even knowing this, grabbing the backpack can be a bit of a hit or miss process. You have to grab directly underneath the handle. Then you can put your backpack away manually. Or, alternatively, if you're lazy, you can just walk away from it and the backpack will automatically return to your back. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is get ourselves a long rifle. I need to test the holster on this thing. Doesn't look like Explorer number 61's home yet. And everybody's still busy on their expedition, so we're gonna go visit Morshu in the rail car. Now I noticed that the mesh, as you get used to it, is becoming slowly less obtrusive over time. Not to say that I like it, but at least I can learn to work with it. Still, my point of contention is that it should be made a little bit less visible. And that reminds me, you probably noticed that the weight readout, which is supposed to be right here, is no longer visible. Unfortunately, this is a limitation that the modder can't seem to work around, unless the backpack is made significantly deeper. You will notice that the weight readout is still here. So if we go around to the back of the backpack, we can see the text that's visible. If I take a flashlight, you can read your weight. Presently, this backpack is at 11.017 kilograms. It's a little bit of an inconvenience, but, you know, it's different strokes for different folks. Now, you'll probably notice that, just like with the default backpack, some items have a habit of teleporting directly to the center of it. Makes my back hurt just looking at it. I don't particularly care for stabbing myself with a Hershey bar anytime soon, but maybe that's your thing, I don't know. Okay, so as you can see, I've pretty much been racking up the goodies in my short time here on this new game at Banno. I haven't even gone into the field yet, and I'm already finding all kinds of shit all over the place. But despite that, I've used up almost none of the primary space inside this thing. You'll probably notice that there is another hitbox over in this direction. This is supposed to be the weapon holster. So, we're going to put the backpack away and get myself the first rifle that I can buy at security level 0.